Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're answering the one question that matters. Can the Itel Super 26 Ultra handle serious gaming? We're going to test the performance with some of the most demanding games available. Let's find out if this is your next budget gaming beast. Before we jump into the games, let's look at the engine. The Super 26 Ultra is powered by the Unisoc T7300 processor, a 6nm chip paired with 8GB of RAM. The big question mark for gaming, though, is the Mali G57MP2 GPU. How will it handle high-end graphics? Where it really shines is the display. We're talking about a massive 6.8-inch curved AMOLED screen with a 1.5K resolution and a blazing fast 144Hz refresh rate. And finally, power. You get a huge 6,000 mAh battery and 10-layer ice cool tech for thermal management. This is great for those marathon gaming sessions. And now for this game test, we will be turning off the Memfusion as it isn't really helping at all. For the Antutu, we got 671,000 score. We will also use FPS meter for all of the games we are playing. First is SHIZUKU, and then FPS Monitor app. These are available on Play Store. So, let's activate it. Let's get this game test started. First of Mobile Legends, we are locking in on Mobile Legends Bang Bang with max graphics. It is mostly rock solid at 90 frames per second, but every so often, especially during big team fights, we get 2 to 5 frames per second micro drops.
You can try to catch me. You have slain an enemy. Yay!
We started at 100%, and after that full hour, the battery had only dropped to about 90%. That is an incredible drain rate of only 10% per hour. Doing the math, this means the Itel Super 26 Ultra can power your Mobile Legends grind for a shocking 9 to 10 hours of straight gameplay. Playable? Yes. If you want that guaranteed 90 frames per second lock, you need a cheap external cooling fan clipped to the back of your phone. You can grab one for less than a new skin, and it is the single best way to ensure the chip never throttles down from 90 frames per second. PUBG Mobile, we're pushing everything to the limit. HDR graphics with the highest possible frame rate, Ultra, which caps us at 40 frames per second. PUBG Mobile on any phone caps the frame rate at Ultra, 40 frames per second when you select HDR graphics. The frame counter is holding remarkably steady right at 38 to 40 frames per second. We are trading smooth 60 frames per second, which this phone can easily do on Smooth Extreme for maximum visual quality. We lost about 7% in 30 minutes. This translates to an estimated 14% drain per hour, meaning you can still get approximately 6 to 7 hours of non-stop, maximum graphics, PUBG Mobile on a single charge. Playable? Yes. Both the better frame rate setting and HDR Plus Ultra settings can play smoothly without hiccups.
Goods talaga.
Next on list is Call of Duty Mobile. In the settings, we are maxed out only to medium on graphics quality and frame rate to high. The stability here is excellent. The FPS counter is locked at 60 for almost the entire match. There's no major stutter when explosives go off, and target acquisition feels instant and responsive. This is the competitive advantage we were looking for. Moving over to Battle Royale, a much larger map, the cap is clear. We are running at 40 frames per second. This is not a phone limitation. It's a limitation imposed by the COD Mobile developers to ensure stability on the huge BR map across a wide range of devices. The transition from 60 to 40 frames per second is noticeable, but critically, the frame rate is incredibly stable at 40. We played a mix of multiplayer and battle royale for 1 full hour. The battery drain was unbelievably low, only about 7% to 9% for the entire hour, an estimated 11 to 12.5 hours of non-stop COD-M. Playable? Absolutely. You get a stable 60 frames per second in multiplayer, which is where most competitive ranked matches happen, and for battle royale, you get a predictable, stable 40 frames per second. Honor of Kings. Poke at max settings is designed to stress flagship phones. This puts serious pressure on the Unisoc T7300 and its Mali G57MP2 GPU, even with the FPS setting on high, which potentially unlocks 90 or 120 frames per second on premium devices. We expect the Super 26 Ultra to stabilize around a locked 60 frames per second. If it can hold that, it's a huge victory. The FPS counter is stable most of the time at 60 frames per second. The experience is fast, fluid, and very competitive. The phone is managing the detailed environment surprisingly well. We played for 1 hour continuously at these maxed out settings, about 15% to 18%. This translates to around 5.5 to 6 hours of continuous max graphics Honor of Kings. Playable? Visually and competitively? Yes. This stable 60 frames per second is everything. No stutters, no missed inputs, just pure, reliable performance that lets you focus on the win. Wild Rift. First, we set to 120 frames per second in Wild Rift. The first 30 seconds are insane, hitting 100 plus FPS. But after that, the frame rate stabilizes between 70 and 80 frames per second, with sudden dips down to 60 frames per second before it recovers. This behavior is the exact definition of thermal throttling. The phone is powerful enough, but the heat is too high. The fact that the Unisoc T7300 can even hit 100 to 120 frames per second in the opening moments of a demanding game like Wild Rift is remarkable. It proves the chip has the raw power for this elite frame rate. If you want to lock this phone at its true performance ceiling, the stable 100 plus FPS it proves it can hit there is only one solution: an external mobile phone cooler. With a cooler, the frame rate stays consistent, likely locked above 90 frames per second, and potentially near 110 frames per second, giving you the competitive edge that the Unisoc T7300 promises. Battery dropped by about 18% after 1 hour. This means you are looking at around 5 to 5.5 of continuous high refresh rate MOBA gaming. That is still fantastic endurance for this level of stress. Playable? Yes! Next is Genshin Impact. My testing confirms what many players fear. Even on lowest graphics plus 60 frames per second, if you leave the render resolution on high, you are capped at a choppy 25 to 31 frames per second. And at max settings, you're stuck at a slideshow 14 to 20 frames per second. If you stick to the lowest resolution plus high render resolution FPS, your drain should drop to a much more manageable 15% per hour, giving you 6 to 6.5 hours of smooth gameplay. Playable? Yes. You must immediately set both graphics quality and render resolution lowest or high, and FPS to 30. Now, CarX Street. Let's start with high graphics, and at 11 to 15 frames per second, the game is unplayable. The Mali G57MP2 GPU is completely overwhelmed by the high-resolution shadows, reflections, and draw distance. Avoid this setting. Low and medium graphics perform almost the same, sitting in a choppy 20 to 30 frames per second range. This is the GPU bottleneck at its worst, but the fault lies primarily with the game's poor mobile optimization.
The worst.
Cost us about 17% per hour. You gain 6 to 7 hours of playable racing, but you are racing in a very pixelated world. Recommended settings? Set it all to low, zero motion blur and anti-aliasing if off and smoke intensity to low. Everything to low. The only competitive way to play is on very low, pixelated settings. If beautiful graphics are a must-have for you, this game and phone combination will be a massive disappointment.
Mid setting, guys. Is somehow playable naman.
And lastly, once human, the graphics is locked to battery saver and frame rate at very high. We set everything to its limit and are averaging at 25 to 30 frames per second. The game is too inconsistent for reliable aiming or dodging. The frame rate is too low for a dynamic game like this. Even with the system boosted, the Itel Super 26 Ultra can only deliver a barely playable 25 to 30 frames per second in less dense areas. This phone is simply not recommended for the core combat experience of Once Human. After 1 hour of struggling in Once Human, the battery dropped by about 19%. This translates to a playtime of roughly 5 hours of survival time. The Itel Super 26 Ultra is a hard pass for the combat and exploration in Once Human. The reality: the phone experiences glitches, stuttering mess, making tense survival moments frustrating. It's physically possible to launch and play, but not to enjoy or compete. Now, final verdict. Is the Itel Super 26 Ultra for you? We pushed the Itel Super 26 Ultra through a gauntlet of games from Mobile Legends to Genshin Impact, and even the demanding CarX Street. The Itel Super 26 Ultra is a highly specialized device. It's not an all-around graphics king, it's the budget competitive MOBA and battery king. If you primarily play Mobile Legends, Honor of Kings and Wild Rift, COD-M and PUBG Mobile, and need a screen that feels premium and a battery that never dies, this is one of the best value for money phones you can buy right now. The 6000 mAh battery, combined with the efficient 6 nanometers Unisoc T7300, is a marathon winner. We saw 11 plus hours of Call of Duty Mobile and MLBB, and 6 plus hours of Genshin Impact. For pure grind and long sessions, this phone is a champion. The Mali G57MP2 GPU wall. This is the one hardware limit you cannot ignore. When we demanded high render resolution, like in Genshin, or detailed open worlds, like CarX Street, the GPU collapsed. The only fix was making the visuals unacceptably pixelated and ugly to gain basic playability. Thermal throttling at max load. The phone can hit above 100 FPS in Wild Rift, but the 10-layer ice cool tech can't sustain it. It throttles down to a stable 70 to 80 frames per second very quickly. To unlock the full speed, you need to buy an external cooling accessory. Let me know in the comments if this video helps you decide. If you are, I tagged the product on where you can buy Itel Super 26 Ultra. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.